Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm sitting down and we're talking about some palettes that are perfect for summer. We are coming in on the hot summer months. So I figure why not sit down and talk to you about some palettes that are perfect for this time of year that I'm going to be reaching for over the next couple of months. Before we get started, don't forget I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to hear about some palettes that are perfect for summer, then let's go ahead and get started. So when I think of summery sort of makeup, I think of a couple different things. I think of color because it's like a bright, fun time of year, but I also think of like bronzy, goldy, brown, sort of rich, warm eyeshadow looks. So that's like what I have here, a mixture of a little bit more colorful eyeshadow palettes as well as like bronzy, rich, warm tone sort of shades. So I do have one repeat from my spring palettes video that I put up a couple weeks ago at this point. And in that video, when I mentioned this palette, I even said, well, I think of this as a little bit more of a summery palette, but I'm going to put it in here because you can, use it during the spring as well. So we are repeating one of them, and it is the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. This is a warm tone dream. Like truly, when I look at this, I think of a sunset. It's called the Sunrise palette, but in my eyes, I look at this and I think of a sunset, which what's more summery than like a sunset on the beach? That's like what I think of when I look at this palette. These tones are perfect for this time of year. Like I said, they are nice, lovely, warm tone shades. They are rich. They are beautiful. I love the yellows and orange that you get in this palette, as well as the gold tones. They complement each other very nicely. You can make a very nice cohesive look with this palette. I did ask on my community tab if you wanted to see this as a 1 week 1 palette or the BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles palette, and this one is winning by a smidge last time I checked. However, one of my subscribers commented on there and said that when she thinks of BH Cosmetics Lost in Los Angeles, she sees like pastel and more springy shades. And then this one, she agrees with me that it's a very nice like warm tone summery sort of palette. So because of that, she said, why don't you go ahead and do Lost in Los Angeles first as we're like leaving spring and going into summer, and then do this one probably in July as it's like the dead of summer. And I think I like that idea. I think I'm gonna do that. So look for a 1 week 1 palette with the Lost in Los Angeles coming up in a couple weeks. And then this one I'll probably end up doing in July because a lot of you guys seem to want to see a 1 week 1 palette with this. And I love this palette. So I definitely want to do that and show its versatility and just how beautiful of looks that you can make with this, because this palette is stunning. Next up, I want to talk about the palette that is actually on my eyes today. I made this really pretty, like mustardy, yellowy sort of eye look with the Colourpop Uh Huh Honey palette. I don't think this is currently available. When I sat down to film right before, I looked on Colourpop's website and it says that it's sold out, but it also has the email me button to like get notified when it comes back in stock. So I don't know if they're going to bring this palette back. I'm hoping so because it is a really beautiful yellowy sort of palette. You have to like yellow tones to wear this palette, obviously, but I feel like I got a pretty wearable look out of this palette today. I use this in my crease. I then use this in my crease as well. I deepen the outer corner and up into my crease with this shade right here. This is on the inner portion of my crease, and this is on like the middle-y sort of portion. And I had to work after this, and I feel very comfortable in these tones. Like I said, I feel like I got a really wearable look. But if you want to go yellow, you can go yellow as well. This one right here is very bright and bold, as well as they have like a glitter here in case you're wanting to spice up your look a little bit. I personally don't really wear the glitter on my eyes just because I'm scared. I don't want to mess my eyes up. I did not film myself getting ready with this palette today. However, all of my makeup that I use will be listed and linked down below for you in case you are curious about any of it. And all of these palettes that are still available will also be listed and linked for you. They are affiliate links if you choose to shop through them and support my channel. I really appreciate it. This is a beautiful palette for the summer. Obviously, summer equates like sunshine most of the time. Not today though. It is gray, as gray can be today. I feel like every time I'm filming, I tell you guys that. Weather in Ohio is just kind of like not the best. This time of year, we get a lot of storms and a lot of gray, rainy days, which is today. But anyways, I think of sunshine when I think of summer, which I'm sure a lot of us do. And what's more sunshiny than this palette right here? I hope that this comes back in stock at some point and you can get your hands on it if you want. But I do know that like these monochromatic palettes were really, really big a couple years ago from Colourpop. So I'm sure quite a few of you maybe have this one. But if not, any yellow sort of eyeshadow would be beautiful at this time of year. Next up, we're getting into a little bit more of those bronzy sort of tones I told you I like during this time of year. And this palette, I mainly equate with summer because I always take it on vacation with us wherever we go. I took it on our honeymoon with us to Jamaica a couple years ago. I've taken it to the beach countless times. It's such a reliable palette. Every time I use it and wear it on my eyes, I love my look. And it is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. This palette is obviously a mini, so you don't have a ton of options. You're not going to get a ton of different eye looks out of it, but the eye looks you get are absolutely stunning. The quality on this is so good. The two mattes are beautiful. They blend together perfectly. They do not get patchy. The shimmers are so impactful. I mainly use these two. I don't know why I never think to reach for this one, but if you can see, there are some dips in these shadows. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, right there you can kind of tell, because I just use this all the time. Like I said, anytime I go on vacation, I pack this because it's easy. I know exactly what kind of look I'm gonna get with it. It's gonna be bronzy and beautiful and glowy because these shimmers are impactful, and I don't have to think about it. Just throw this in the crease, throw this on the outer corner, pick one of these two or both of them on the lid, and you're good to go. And it'll look like you spent a lot of time on your eyeshadow, but you didn't, because I'm a girl, I love makeup. You guys know this. I have a whole makeup channel about makeup. Like, I love makeup. But when I'm on vacation, I want to relax. I don't like to spend a ton of time on my makeup. I'd rather spend time with the people that I am on vacation with, or going to the beach, going out to eat. Like, I don't like to fuss with my makeup on vacation. So that's like one of the reasons I always bring this palette. So are the tones like super summery when you're looking at it? Maybe not. They do have those bronzy tones, like I said, but I just always equate this with summer because it's my vacation palette that I always go to. All right, next up in the same vein as the Natasha Denona Mini Nude, but it's a little bit more affordable and you're getting more options, but really the quality is almost just as good in my personal opinion, and it is the Half Cake Your Eyes Only palette. I've talked about Half Cake quite a few times on my channel in the past. I feel like they are a really underrated brand. Almost everything I have tried from them, I have really, really loved. The quality is amazing and their price points are really, really good. I want to say this palette is maybe $12. Don't quote me, but I think it is. It's very affordable. You get a nice mirror. It's a cardboard packaging that's like sturdy and doesn't feel like too chintzy. And these shades are beautiful. Again, the quality is so stinking good. The mattes blend together like a dream. These shimmers are so intense on your eye. Like, they are beautiful. Here's the Natasha Denona shimmers in the Mini Nude, and then like here's these shimmers. They are right below it. They are so beautiful on the eyes, so impactful. My only qualm with this palette is you can't get it too deep. This is the deepest matte that you have, and it really doesn't show up very deep on your eye. You have this shimmer right here to deepen it up, but a lot of times in the outer corner, I like to go on with a matte. Not the end of the world, but just something to know in case you are someone who likes to get deep and sultry with your looks. You probably won't be able to get that with this palette. However, you will get a beautiful, nice, everyday brown tone, bronzy, warm sort of eyeshadow look that is stunning. Again, foolproof. I don't have to think about it when I use this palette. I always know that my looks are going to look beautiful. And if you want to throw in a little bit of cranberry, pinky sort of looks, you have the option with this palette as well. So super underrated, super amazing quality. I love this palette. I want to try more palettes from this brand. I haven't quite yet, but this one is so good. Next up, we're back to a little bit more of a colorful palette for you guys. I equate this with summer for two reasons. One, it is colorful, and two, my sister bought it for me for my birthday a couple years ago at this point, I think 2 years ago at this point, and my birthday is in June. So again, June is kind of summery, and I equate this with summer for that reason as well. But it is the ABH Norvina palette. This is their Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2. This palette is beautiful. I do not use it as much as I should. I'm going to be completely transparent about that. I have used this palette a total of like 5 or 6 times. I know, not very many times, but every time I've used it, I've loved my looks, and these shades scream summer to me. Again, more of like a summery sunset sort of look. You can use these shades right here and get a really beautiful warm tone look, like I said. Or if you want to go a little bit more green blue route, which I also equate those colors with summer, you can do that as well. The quality is beautiful. Even these like bright shades, sometimes they are a little bit hard to formulate. They can be patchy or just not as vibrant and pigmented as they look in the pan. But in my experience, these do go on the eyes just as pigmented and beautiful as they look in the pan. I would change the shimmers in this only because you only have this like green one and then this more bronzy tone one. And while they are beautiful, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to make a complete look in my eyes unless you go the green route. But you can always pull in like a Colourpop Super Shock or a single shadow or another palette. But I really do love this. I think the colors are beautiful. They blend together nicely. The pigmentation is there. And in my experience, this is a lovely, cute little summery palette. Back to the more like brownie, bronzy sort of shades, and also pink. I love pink eyeshadow any time of the year. It doesn't have to be a certain season. I just think pink eyeshadow is flattering and beautiful all year round. And for this, I have the BH Cosmetics Hanging in Hawaii palette. I know BH recently got bought out by Makeup Revolution, so I don't know what their quality of their eyeshadows are going to do. I don't know if Makeup Revolution is going to keep their eyeshadow formulation or if they're going to switch it over to their eyeshadow formulation. I have never tried eyeshadows for Makeup Revolution. I don't know, but I've heard mixed reviews. But if you can find this on sale or if you already own it, it's my, reminder to you to pull it out and use it. Like I said, this has those like warm tone, summery sort of shades that I think of around this time of year. You got some oranges, some pinks, obviously some browns. This is another palette that whenever I use it, I don't really have to think about my look. All of these tones go together very nicely. The only thing I have to really think about and decide on is what beautiful shimmer I want to put on my lid because they're all stunning. I won't talk about this one too long because like I said, I don't think it's available anymore and what's going on with BH, but if you have this palette, definitely pull it out and use it. I have one more palette to talk about and then I have a couple honorable mentions. The last one I want to talk about is the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. I recently rediscovered this in my collection. I've used it quite a few times in the last couple of weeks and every time I use it, I love this palette. This reminds me of like a summer night. Like you're going out maybe to a bar, to a restaurant on a date night. You have a beautiful dress on, maybe some heels, your hair's down and curled and you want a beautiful like sultry, impactful, shimmery sort of look. You're going to get that with these shades. The quality on this palette is absolutely amazing. These shimmers are so impactful on your eyelids. I put them on and I'm serious. I feel like I'm wearing Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath shadows. That is how beautiful these shades are. They are a little bit thicker of a shimmer sort of formulation. So if I were you, I would do your eyes first and I would go in with some sort of tacky base, a glitter primer, something like that to make this adhere to your eyelids. I think you would have a lot better of a experience using this. But if you have not gotten your hands on this one, I highly recommend. I really want the Desert Lights palette. I think that one looks stunning. It's a little bit more of those like pinky sort of tones. I haven't picked it up quite yet, but this one, this quality, amazing. And lastly, I have some Colourpop quads to mention to you guys. They are honorable mentions because I haven't gotten a chance to try them out quite yet. I got a PR package from Colourpop yesterday, my time, a few weeks ago. At this point, when you're watching this, I'm doing some pre-filming because of my vacation coming up. But the quads just look so beautiful that I wanted to mention them to you. They're part of Colourpop's Sure Thing collection. This is only available at Ulta, which I feel like a lot of you guys probably shop at Ulta, so that's kind of nice. They came out with 4 different quads. I've tried these quads in the past. They have been a little bit hit or miss for me, so I'm hoping these have really good formulation and good quality. Again, another reason why it's an honorable mention. I don't know if these have good quality, but the color stories are so stinking cute that I wanted to mention them to you guys. So these are their pressed powder palettes. I didn't realize that these retail for $5. I feel like that is such a good deal. This one right here is their Beachy Keen one. It's back to that more like bronzy brown tone, everyday sort of shadows that I like to use during this time of year. We also have Shell Bound. This one is a little bit of that like orangey, warm tone, summery sunset sort of shades. I think this looks beautiful. Then we have a super fun pop of color right here in the Wait and See, but like the C is SEA, like the ocean, which is really cute. This is beautiful. I'm really hoping that this has really nice quality and pigmentation and these mattes don't get patchy on me because the colors in this are stunning. I'm not a huge blue eyeshadow kind of fan, but I will definitely give this a go because that is so pretty. And last but not least, we have their Sure Thing press palette. This is more of that like pinky tone sort of shadows that, like I stated, I feel like are good for all year round. So I wanted to give this a mention because they're so stinking cute and they were like really nice, like bronzy, warm tone, and bright blue sort of shades that I think of in the summertime. And that was it, you guys. That was some palettes that I think are perfect for the upcoming summer months that I'm going to be probably reaching for quite often over the next few months. Let me know down below if you own any of these or if I put any of them on your radar and you want to check them out. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.